In psychology, there's a theory called social comparison theory, which
Yeah.
basically means that we figure out how well we are doing by comparing ourselves to others.
Now I'm on a spiritual journey, and I honestly just want to be closer to God and find myself grounded in His Word. So success to me right now would be I would rather just be doing what I love, because really, who cares what people think? But the truth is, in the world that we live in now, we base our success on external factors and not the inner peace that we have.
Welcome back to Scatteryan Podcast, where we try to unpack, break down, scatter the threads of how society influences our behavior. I'm your guy, Dr. Toves. Hope you're having a beautiful and fantastic day. Thank you to everyone streaming, everyone watching. If you're watching on YouTube, please don't forget to press the like button, subscribe if you're new here to do so. And if you're listening on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any audio platform, please press the 5-star button, rate us 5-star. It helps a lot. So thank you very much. And so the other day I was at a wedding on a table with some people that I've met before and some that I never knew. You know, those weddings, they just put you on a table with different people, right? And you know, in that kind of situation, people, mainly men, I don't know if women do it as well, but mainly men try to check each other out. They like some suss out the competition to see whose life is most put together from what people are wearing, how they're talking it is, you know the vibe now. And
You
then
know,
someone for no reason mentioned that they just got back from Dubai for the third time this year, and that was the third time that they're going to close a deal for their company. And you know, and me, I was happy that week. There's no major wins, just peace. You know, recorded some good podcast session with my guy Nelson, and you know, I had a calm week. But then came that moment in the wedding after the first round of drinks, where you know there's that awkward silence because you guys don't know each other that much, and someone decided to break the silence by asking, "So, what are you working on now?" I was listening to everyone answers, and then suddenly, everything that I was proud of that week, ordinarily, that I would have been proud of, felt like, oh boy, your answer is not going to match up to this guy's answer. So, these other people's answers, and I caught myself feeling like I didn't think that my week would sound impressive enough. But being me, I answered anyway. I answered how my week was because to me, if I don't think I'll see you again, what does it matter? But I didn't like the fact that I would have downplayed my own week to try to match up to other people's weeks, you know, other people's achievements. And it seems like some part of me wanted the approval of others. So today we are digging into that feeling, you know, that pressure to make it. Not for yourself, but for the audience that you might not even like. And joining me to scatter the yarns of this topic is my guy, as usual, Mr. Nelson, aka the Pizzo, that lights fire quicker than a diesel for Shizu. Did I get it right, Mr.
Manizu.
Manizo? How are you feeling today, my guy?
Oh, it's been a busy day at work. I'm great
Mm,
to always be on this podcast. Yeah,
yeah.
and I think this is going to be an interesting topic, like every other one. So I implore you to stay tuned.
Hmm.
Don't touch that dial.
Feel it. Shout out the banger. Anyways, there's that pressure usually at the back of everyone's mind that you know yeah, like, it's just there that sometimes you feel the need to look and seem spectacular, right? To sound like you are climbing the mountain, even though you're just enjoying to be walking. So I'm going to start with my guy Nelson. Do you remember any time that you felt the pressure to prove
Oh
that
yeah,
you're doing well? That you have to prove that you're doing well. Do you remember any time like that?
yes. There were many times, and more often than not, yeah, it's because you genuinely do not think that you are doing well. You honestly, deep down, do not think that you are doing well.
Hmm.
That's why you feel some type of pressure when you hear other people's story.
Hmm.
I'll give you a couple of instances. Um, so after uni days, you
Hmm.
know, try to get a job. I did get a job. I started teaching in a school.
Hmm.
No need to tell you the
No
school.
details. Yes.
No need for details. I started teaching in a school. Then from teaching, I moved on to one business, sports bets business.
Hmm.
I had a sports bet center where people come to gamble and whatnot. And I switched business. I started doing Uber. So fast forward. So you see the trajectory. If you ask me personally, there has been growth because when I was a teacher, I was earning probably 20,000 naira. Then I moved to running a business. I was earning way past 20, like more than times two of what I was earning before. Now I'm doing Uber. My earning is way more than when I was in the sports bets sector. So personally, I've grown, but society wise, I'm still not there. So during the Uber days, I met a lot of people. You get,
Yeah.
humans are different and unique.
Yes.
So one time I met somebody that went to my alma mater, and if you have been following the podcast, you will realize that you would know that I went to a proper university in Nigeria where
Private, rich, top notch.
if you call it that. So you would not expect somebody that spent all that on that school fees to, let me use the word, stoop so low to be doing Uber. So one time I met a lady that went to my school, and she we weren't friends in school. We were not friends in school, but we knew ourselves from far. Like, hey, what's up? Let's say her name is Shokolokobam. Yeah, hey, Shokolokobam, and I'm Shoko. You get me? So, I see. You know how you do not even know sometimes the person you are picking and whatnot,
Yeah.
but they see your face and all that. So I think she already saw my face from my profile, and she already had a blue face on
And
my behalf,
yeah.
like she was already looking sad on my behalf.
Yeah.
And this person was coming from work, and I myself, I was working at the moment, and I know I've made considerable amounts of money that day because the income was on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So she enters the ride and she's asking questions, and the truth is, if this person was close to me, these questions wouldn't have come out like condescending, because I would have seen that, okay, it is genuine concern. But this was a situation of, ah, we went to that school together. How come you are doing this? Hope this is not all you depend on. Do you have other things you are doing? Are you trying to get out of this also and whatnot? And you just wonder that this that I'm doing at the moment is somebody else's testimony. Even if it is true that I myself, I wasn't even happy in that state. Like, I wasn't, not like I wasn't happy. I wasn't sad,
Yeah.
but I wasn't fulfilled in that state. Yeah, I didn't feel fulfilled. I
Fair.
didn't feel like I was effectively utilizing my abilities.
But I just have
Yeah,
one question: were you making enough? Like, were you making enough to be satisfied and still be able to, like, ex for to make enough to be satisfied and have enough for extracurricular activities
so,
at that
so
particular point in time?
yeah. So satisfied now is relative. But
Yeah.
when you say money for extracurricular activities, yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did. I did. I was paying my rent.
Mm-hmm.
I was paying my rent in I think it was a one-bedroom apartment at the
Mm-hmm.
time. Yeah. So I was paying my rent. I was doing things. I was saving. I had the liberty to go clubbing sometimes, even if you have to go Dutch with your guys. We call it JFK. Like,
Mm-hmm.
everybody bring your quota. The bill is so amount. Okay, we're five boys. We share it.
Mm-hmm.
Divide it by five. I was able to fit those type of bills. So I was not exactly satisfied,
Honestly,
but
what I mean satisfied is like you're making enough to be able to,
yeah,
like,
I was making
unpack.
enough
But
to answer my
but
economical
your
needs.
yes, but your ambition, you're not satisfied. But
No, I
economically, you
wasn't,
were all
but
right.
I was making enough to satisfy my economical needs. But
Bam.
the plot twist now is
Mm.
I did that for 5 years.
Mm.
I don't think I want to say this on air. So I did that for 5 years. Then I got a job.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? I
Yeah.
got a job that allowed me the opportunity to sit in an office. I kid you not, I was uncomfortable for the first 3 months, just sitting down, waiting till the 30th day to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
When I know if I was out there on the streets, I probably would have made this salary in like 1 week, 2 weeks plus.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
So it was, but to be honest, if I'm being honest on this podcast,
Mm-hmm.
I felt more fulfilled than when I was making more money.
That is the point of the
That
conversation.
is
We'll circle back,
That's the
but
point
yes.
of the conversation. And
Mm.
now, the reason why I felt more fulfilled is because it was easier to tell people what I was doing at the moment than what I
Mm.
was doing then.
Mm.
I even had family members that were like, no, 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 that you can't be doing that, you can't be doing that. Then they will hide under the guise of it's not even safe. You are meeting a lot of people, you could
Mm.
get kidnapped, you are exposed to a lot. So they hide under that guise. But in the real sense, they were just not comfortable with the fact that their nephew, their cousin, little cousin is this is what he's doing.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I don't know how to explain it, but
No, I get you because
I
we'll break it down because that's the essence
then
of the
then
conversation.
you see
But
me,
yeah.
it was a little bit more convenient for me to tell people what I was doing
Mm-hmm.
when I went back into the 9 to 5 life. That, oh, what do you do? Oh yeah,
Mm.
I work in human resources. Oh yeah, I work in I am the information and technology department of so organization.
Yeah.
Yeah, I work in the bursary department. But in the real sense, you don't even make as much money as somebody that is on the streets doing his Uber and driving.
Mm.
But you still order that person's ride and you find people looking at the person in a condescending manner.
Right.
And I think it is also a societal problem because
Right. I don't want you to go too far
um
because I would like to curate this step by step.
okay,
Okay.
all right,
Because
all right, all right,
you've
all right,
kind
all
of like
right.
answered everything within that your particular scenario. But obviously if I let you go on, we'll just finish in 10 minutes and we have to drag it out to at least half an hour. Stay tuned.
Yeah, you
Right.
know that's my plan, right?
Right. So, to answer the question of have you ever felt a time where you felt the pressure to prove you were doing well? For me, I would think that I started with like when I first came to the UK, phone calls from my old friends in Nigeria when they were asking, how is London? I know when they're asking how is London, they don't want to hear me say, no, I'm tired, I just finished shifts, I'm just surviving. They want to hear that, oh, London is great, I'm living the life, blah, blah. That's what they want to hear. So sometimes I try not to pick those calls because I don't want to lie. Because I don't like lying. I only want to lie when there's a reason to lie. I don't want to lie unnecessarily, usually. So I tried avoiding those calls. I had to even change my number because I know that these people, I don't want to change what I'm doing or like give a life that I'm not living just to satisfy people's ego in the first place. And now talking about listening to your story, you're talking about how what you were doing, you are making more money than sitting down in an office, but you felt more satisfied or fulfilled in quote sitting down in the office even though you made more money then. So my question is, who taught us what making it looks like, right? Who taught us the definition of success? Is your own definition different from your parents or your peers' definition? Because for me, think that the pressure for me moved like kicked in when I moved in abroad. There's that unspoken standard of, what a successful diaspora Nigerian is. Like you're abroad, what you should be doing, and that pressure kind of started haunting me. Me personally, I was successful. I've moved abroad. Not that moving abroad is a success, but I was doing different degrees that in Nigeria was supposed to be the status quo. But even though my real life was not matching that, my living condition was not matching the what people were thinking was success. But
Yeah.
but in my parents' eyes, I was successful. But personally, I was not successful. So the question is your own definition of success different from that of your parents and that of the society, basically?
So the truth is, it's not so. Is I want to believe my idea of success was it stems from my dad's idea of success
Mm.
because growing up, they kept pressing us that you need to go to school, you need to work hard in your academics. Once you get out, you get a job. Do you
Mm.
understand? So that was the trajectory. So yeah, so the trajectory that was painted for me as a child was go to school, do well in your grades. That was the first form of success
Mhm.
because we grew up in an environment where they ranked us after every term and every session.
Mm-hmm.
There's first position. If there are 24 people in the class, they write it there: first position, second position, third position, fourth position, like that. So that was the beginning of wanting to be successful. You
Mm-hmm.
get me? So you realize that you see some of your classmates that you that this person came third,
Yeah.
you probably came seventh or eighth,
Mm-hmm.
and do this crying, and you now you probably came 10th last term, and now you're coming seventh.
Mm-hmm.
So you are more fulfilled and you are ready to take that result home, like, oh, I did better than last year,
Yeah.
because you are in competition with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at your brother here, your next man here, he came third, and he's crying that, oh, I can't take this result home to my dad. How will I show him that I came third?
Mm-hmm.
And you wonder, can we just swap?
Yeah. Exactly. That's the thing, and that's the thing for me because what you might what other people think that it's a failure to them, to you might be like it's a success, right? And how do we merge this reality? Because I want us to kind of digress a bit. Like, have you ever posted something, whether on WhatsApp story or on Instagram or whatever, and then you didn't really care about the likes, but you just want to see who was viewing your post. You're expecting
Yeah.
a particular person to view your post to see that that you are they are living the life. Have you ever has that ever happened to you in the first place?
The times where it happened, it was because I'm a lover boy. It was probably because the post was for
Your
one
exes.
babe I was talking
So
to.
you are
Yeah,
you
or my
so
ex.
basically you're not sharing, you're performing, isn't it?
Wait, are you saying me posting myself?
Yes, you posted. Yeah, you posted.
Myself.
Yeah, you posted yourself. You posted whatever you were
Mm.
doing. You posted, but you're not posting because you wanted. You didn't care about who liked the stuff. But you're just looking at who viewed that thing to see that actually you're successful. You're better than where you were. If it can be your exes, it can be
I
your
think
schoolmates.
I would not categorically say I haven't done that before or felt that type
Hmm.
of way.
I know I
But
have.
I'm not going to admit to it on air.
Okay, well, I know that I have. I know
I
that
know
I
that
have
I have. I know
on
that I
several
have. I would
occasions.
have done it. I would have done it on a subtle note, like, yeah, let this nigga know that I'm also balling.
Exactly.
But I'm not going to agree to you on air that I did that, because the
But
internet never.
you kind of agreed already, so I don't understand what you're saying.
The internet never forgets. So I would not
Okay.
subscribe.
Hmm. Right,
I wouldn't.
but the thing is, if you want to look at it theoretically, I was just doing some extra readings for the topic to try to see. Let's get some little depth and substance for it, right? Because in
Yeah.
psychology, there's a theory called social comparison theory, right? Which
Yeah.
basically means that we figure out how well we are doing by comparing ourselves to others. In other words, we
Okay.
determine our worth based on how we stack up against others. You gave the example of the school results, right? But in today's world, we don't just compare anymore. We also curate, right? The things that we post, we are curating a lifestyle. So we are not just trying to succeed anymore. We are also trying to be seen succeeding. Now, my question is, do you think that people are more obsessed with looking successful than actually being successful, right? Do you think that
Definitely.
people are more obsessed with looking successful than
Definitely.
actually being
Definitely.
successful? Yeah, go on.
Definitely. Definitely. You can look at that from, definitely, man, many aspects in life.
Yeah,
You
because me,
get
I
me?
would say I used to think that I wanted a mansion until I realized that I just
You
wanted
don't
to
need a
see
mansion.
that people. I just wanted people to know that I can afford one. The reason why I want a mansion is to people to know that I'm balling. I can afford a mansion. But really, I still want a mansion. Don't get me wrong, but for slightly different reason. Right? Right. So the problem is even.
Sometimes I'm mad at myself that I do not have some kind of materialistic dreams,
Hmm,
because I honestly do not. I honestly do not have materialistic dreams,
hmm,
and I think it might be disadvantageous, because sometimes those materialistic dreams drives you to want to be a go-getter, to want to get it and just be greedy and keep going. then you need to now know how to balance it.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, success can be based on this your question.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally,
Mm-hmm.
I agree to it because you can rate or value your success in different ramifications. You
Mm-hmm.
can value it socially, you can value it for your work life balance, you
Yeah.
can value it spiritually. So
Mm-hmm.
there are different ways which you can value success, and everybody falls into either one category or the other.
No, that's true.
If you say you are a pastor, there's spiritual success. If you
Mm-hmm.
say you are a socialite, there's social success. If you say you are a family person, there's what you expect from you as a family person.
Yes, but
So
different definition of the success, right? But my point is,
yeah,
people want to be looking, people want to be seen as successful. The pastor that is looking for spiritual success, even when they get the spiritual success, they want to tell people that I'm spiritually successful. Those that are looking for materialistic success, they want to people to know that they're materially successful. Because even if you look at all the motivational speakers on social media, the ones that have made their millions, why don't you make your millions and shut up? But you make the millions and try to let people know that, okay, I'm actually making millions. This is what I did to make the millions. And if you pay my course, pay for my course, I will tell you what I did to be successful. But even though you pay for that course, you will still not be able to be successful as much as they did. Majority of people, right? So I just think that people
and
are
the
still
truth is,
performing. That's the.
another thing, low key,
Mhm.
another thing you need to realize is if anybody is coming to motivate you and telling you to pay for a course to get to where you got to,
They're hustling
trust me,
you.
it's the subscription that is bankrolling the person, not the
Hmm.
person's success. Elon Musk will never come and sit down and tell you 10 tips to be a billionaire. He
Hmm.
doesn't care about you being a billionaire. He's a billionaire, he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's the niggas that are still in their hundreds of thousands thinking of how to get to the million that come and now let you know that, oh, this is what I did to be a millionaire. But he ain't a millionaire yet.
Hmm.
He's just getting your subscription money so that he can use that to bankroll other expenses and reduce his cost of living.
Yeah. But then let's flip the question now. Would if no one will clap for you, right? If no one would clap for you, would you still pursue the same goals that you're pursuing right now? Whether it is you can people, whether it is family members, whether it's your friend. If no one is going to be like, oh my god, you're exceeding expectations. If no one is ever going to say that, would you still pursue the same goals you're pursuing right now?
Yeah. Personally, yes. But I
Mm.
don't think most people will. But
Mm.
personally, yes, I will.
That's why you're my
Because
friend.
most of the time I'm honestly in competition with myself.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I admire my friends, I admire things I see out online. I see affluence and I'm like, oh yeah, I would love to be this person. I would love to have all of this.
Mm-hmm.
But genuinely deep down inside me, like I told you, I do not have materialistic goals like for instance, now I do not have a favorite car that I would like to buy when I make it. That I
Mm-hmm.
now start going to stare at that. Okay, once I hit it big, this is the first car I'm buying. I do not have that. I
Mm.
do not have a picture of the like. I'm sure you now that said you want a mansion. I'm sure deep down you have drawn the plan of that mansion.
No, I
Like
haven't.
you
Like I said,
haven't.
I want it for a different reason. Once upon a time, I used to think I obviously as a younger person, you
No,
think I
I'm
want
not
to
saying
live as a
I'm
man.
not even talking about your reason now. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that when you're thinking about that mansion, you already have a picture in your head where the swimming pool is going to be.
Oh, there's no swimming
Where
pool in my mansion because I couldn't swim at the time. But yes,
okay, no swimming pool in your mansion.
that time
Yeah,
no
but
swimming pool
whatever
though.
it is, like for you now, you'll probably be a let me say a studio because you might want to just throw back to your music days.
Oh,
Yeah,
podcast
so
days. The podcast studio. What are you talking about? I'm enjoying what I'm
leave
doing right
me
now.
now, leave me
No,
now.
you can't. You are talking about me, so you have to be accurate and factual.
Yeah, well, you and I know that they are facts in what I'm saying, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
the different version.
um
You talk about different version of Doctor Tools right there. But yeah, go ahead.
yeah, different version of the tools. So
Yes.
for instance, now I'm on a spiritual journey and I honestly just want to be closer to God and find myself grounded in his word.
Mm-hmm.
So success to me right now will be my pastor recognizing that I'm successful or God actually telling me that my son, I'm working with you.
Mm.
Did you get?
Yeah.
Did you get my question? I'm asking you a question.
No, what's your
Should
question?
success to me be that my pastor recognizes how my level of spirituality has changed, or me actually experiencing God genuinely and seeing that yes, I'm now walking with God.
Now that's a very very good question, right? Because majority of people, even when they are working with God, even spiritually as well, because if you're speaking about God, I know you're talking about the Christian God, right?
Yeah,
He
the
says
Christian God,
he says
yeah,
you
the
should
Father
be
of
a,
Jesus Christ.
he says you should go and be an example for people. So even when you achieve that your spiritual one, you have to go and be an example for people. People have to see you living the life. You have to go and be a witness. So even though you are doing it for yourself, you're still doing it for people to see you as well.
You
So
know what you just
my
said makes
question,
sense.
my question now, but no, and
Hey,
the other point is as well. Sometimes people also perform humility too. Look at me, I am humble. This is the example of humility that you should follow. So at the end of the day, it seems that people are always performing success, regardless. That is the whole ball point of the conversation. But go ahead.
but what is success without performance?
Success is achieving result, right? Right.
What is success without performance?
Okay.
Success is achieving results.
Result. Yes.
What is achieving results? Performing.
Yes, but again, we're looking at it from the point of view of yourself, right? Not for other people. There's no motivation for other people. Like I'm not. When I'm trying to be successful, I'm not trying to be successful because I want people to see me being successful. That is what I would like to think. And even when you said about you want to pursue God and be great spiritually, you're not doing it for the point of view of other people. But within that context, you have to be a witness. So you must
You
do
even
it for
have to
other
go and
people.
preach the word. You even have to go and preach the word. That's why I
Exactly.
was mute when you said what you said, because it now contradicts my line of thought. My
Hmm.
answer would have been you are doing it for God and you just want your walk with God to be genuine.
Hmm.
But in the real sense, when the walk with God becomes genuine, you
Hmm.
have to go and manifest. You
Hmm.
have to go and speak the word to people,
Yes.
preach the word to people. And in the bid to preach the word to people, you have to show them that now my
Hmm.
walk with God is perfect. That is why I'm coming to draw you near so that you can enjoy what I'm enjoying.
Exactly.
So
Exactly that.
I do not. So there is a thin line, and it's extremely thin. There's a thin line between you having success for yourself or you performing for the world to see.
Mm.
Because if you now take it to the social life,
Hmm.
you see me now, I'm successful socially. I want to buy a Benz. I want to I want to pop bottles at the club.
Hmm.
I want 16 babes to be around my table. I
Hmm.
like the number 16. You get 8 on the left, 8 on the right. So I'm I'm probably doing this because I enjoy doing it.
Hmm.
But in the real sense, I'm also performing.
Hmm. Exactly.
And
You want people
it
to
is
see
it
it.
is
That's why I went to the club. You didn't
not
do
like
it
I
at
want
home.
see, don't make that mistake, yeah.
Hmm.
Not like I want people to see it,
Hmm.
but it is what I am doing, and people will definitely see.
Mm. But why you doing it at the club and not at home?
Why am I doing it at the club but and not at home?
Mm. That's the question.
No, that's a question, but in real sense, if I'm genuinely successful,
Hmm.
it is going to be a lifestyle. So like I'm with 16 babes at the club. 16 babes are
Do you know
following
why?
me.
Do you know why I kind of slightly disagree with you? Because there's a rapper right now called Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, in trial right now for that kind of lifestyle. But it's not on trial for doing it publicly. He was doing it in his own house, in his own privacy. But yet he's still being like punished for it. He was rich enough, successful enough to do it in public, but he chose to do it
But
not
you are
not
wrong.
not to the viewing eyes of people,
You
but
are wrong.
in
You
his
are
own
wrong.
eyes,
If this is your
paying people,
argument,
allegedly paying people privately to come and perform for him privately. You know,
you are wrong. You are wrong if that's your argument.
no, my
Because
argument is that you don't have to do it in the club. You can do it at home. That's what I'm saying. If it's a lifestyle, if you don't want it to be, if
no,
you don't want to be public, you can do it
Sean
at home.
Combs did it everywhere. He did
But
it on the yacht. He did it on the yacht. He did it in the club. He did it in his house.
again, but it was not for the view of the public. Those were recorded for himself, though. All the freak offs that he's been allegedly doing was in his own house. He paid people are on the payroll to perform for him privately. You know, yes, as a musician, he was doing like music videos, doing pop social parties, but his actual what his own real balling was allegedly in the privacy of his home. and you have to be very, very close to him to be invited to those,
Free course.
extracurricular activities. Yes. So it's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't have to
But
be
it doesn't
calculated.
contradict what I'm saying though, because what I'm saying is, if it's a lifestyle, you could do it anywhere and anywhere.
All right, fair enough. Let's wind down with some would you rather questions, right? Would you rather be seen as successful doing something you don't enjoy, or be unknown doing something you love? For those listening on audio, say it one more time. Would you rather be seen as successful doing something you don't enjoy, or be unknown doing something you love?
I would rather be unknown doing something I love, because my persona already is a very, very outgoing personality.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I would rather just be doing what I love, because really, who cares what people think? But the truth is, in the
Mm.
world that we live in now, we base our success on external factors and not the inner peace that we have.
Mm-hmm.
But I've answered.
Okay. Well, first things first. On a normal day, as I am right now, I will say yes. It will be good unknown doing something that you love, but at the same time, just like you said, there's an ego in being known, right? But because sometimes if people are not seeing it, it's like you're not growing. On the other hand,
For
so.
instance, yeah, this is off point too. We went to the same school, and I was somewhat popular.
Mm-hmm,
Like my nickname sounded like a household name. Like
mm-hmm,
almost everybody in our set
mm-hmm,
had an idea who that nigga is. So
mm-hmm,
fast forward this year, we're in
mm-hmm.
2025 now. We
Yeah.
left school 2012.
Mm-hmm,
This year, so I was catching up with an old friend from school that I haven't spoken to since 2013.
mm-hmm.
Then she goes and she's eager her to chat, and she asked me a funny question: if are you still popular? That actually struck deep thoughts in me. Like,
Mm,
true. When I was in a confined space of 10,000 people, I was
mm,
extremely popular. Now
mm.
I'm in the real world. Nobody gives a rat's ass where I am or who I am or what
Oh,
I'm doing.
big
So
fish in a quick pond.
it struck me like, okay, that's another level of success that I
Mm,
had at that time. That
mm,
some people felt this dude was doing fine because everybody knows him, he's a happening guy, whatnot, this one, that one. But now he's in the real world now, and I can't be doing pretty mic shit. So obviously, you get my point.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I do. And the final would you rather for the episode is would you rather be envied for what you have or respected for what you've let go of?
Which one be respected for what you have go? Wait, I know they chop. They don't eat respect. They don't eat respect. But where I come from, envy is a very, very strong feeling that can
Uh,
land you in problem.
mm,
So I would rather just be respected because of the environment where I'm in.
but if you
Because
want let's take environment out of it because obviously we know the environment you are saying you're in. Even when the people respect you as well, people start envying you. It's like it goes hand in hand. It's the same step, a
I'm
different
telling you,
step.
they will envy the respect.
Exactly. For me, I would say that I'd rather be respected for what I've let go of because that takes restraint. That actually builds you mentally, emotionally, builds your capability as a human being. So I would rather be respected for that. Also, I like respect anyway. Envy, maybe not so much. So yeah, that's what I'd rather do. So in rounding up the episode, I'm going to say that sometimes we chase applause from people who are never clapping for us, and there's a difference between looking like you've made it and feeling like you have. So yeah, some questions for you to think about, the audience. If no one could ever see your success, would you still chase it? Or would you finally rest? This has been Scatteryan Podcast. I'm going to say thank you to my guy Nelson for joining today. And as usual, until the next episode, I'm going to say stay safe, stay curious, question everything, and use your brain. SCFR. Peace.